About to go on now. Well, actually, I'm live and direct. Hakeem Green is live and direct here on Madison TV, where every week we get it in with someone important to the culture, be it hip hop culture, cannabis culture, politics, education, growing, just the many aspects of the Mad IZM. What up, Rob? Robert Swinney Jr. is in the building. Let me see what's up with Paradise. Paradise Gray was on last week. He went so deep.
Hello.
Peace, Dice. It's Hakeem.
Hey.
I'm over here on Madison TV.
Cool.
Yeah, waiting for your presence. I want to make sure we still on.
What time is it?
It's 9 o'clock.
Holy shit.
Time flies.
Hey, cool. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. All right, here go my hang up. I'm we try to link in there.
Okay, there it is. So as you see, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to be fire up in the building. Paradise Gray stopped by last week, last Tuesday, and we just really covered hip hop culture, when it began, how it began, the elements, prior to 1973, the different people, DJs, promoters, street folks who were, really important to tilling the soil, getting the soil right so we can have the wonderful fruits and vegetables of the culture prior to 1973. And then, of course, we discuss how hip hop as a phrase didn't really come about till 1978. The first party, the first flyer to actually have the term hip hop on it is a flyer from out of Brooklyn in 1978. This is what Paradise dropped on us last week. So it kind of puts some things in perspective. Big shout out to Ron Lawrence, the producer of my upcoming album, Aubrey, who has a documentary called The Founding Fathers and goes into a lot of what Paradise was explaining, detailing. And so Paradise is, he's going to be checking in pretty soon. We're going to get into part 2. Of course, he's the legendary promoter from Latin Quarters, groundbreaking nightclub in New York City. And of course, he's one of the founding members of the legendary hip hop group X-Clan. So we got to get into all of that. There's so much we got to get into. And of course, the Universal Hip Hop Museum, which is a new endeavor spearheaded by Rocky Bucano. Big shout out to him. Of course, we interviewed him on Madison TV some months ago. Paradise is working closely with Rocky as a curator and putting the exhibits together, making sure that the right artifacts or official tissue, what have you. And we're going to get into all that. So while we're waiting on Paradise, I guess I'll throw up the Cypher, the joint produced by Ron Lawrence, featuring KRS-One. It's on the upcoming album, Aubrey, that I'll be dropping later this year. So I'm going to run that joint right fast, and I'm going to get to inviting folks so we have a lively building. And make sure you contribute something in the comment section. I see we got some folks watching as it is. Once you let me know who you are so I can shout you out, put your name in the comment, and I'll shout you out. This is Madison TV. Subscribe, like, share. Let people know what we're doing over here. It's real hip-hop all day, every day. It's how I go down over here. So I'm going to play this joint called The Cypher, featuring KRS-One, produced by Ron Lawrence. And we're going to get it going. Yeah.
Hey, yo, what is a cypher? Hey, yo, what is a cypher?
What's a short?
What's a cypher? What? called the cipher. What is a cipher? Destroy. The cipher is a circle with all points connected, where you get your boogie off and the weak get disrespected. The cipher is so sacred, takes place on hollow ground. B-boys seek to battle on a mission to follow sound. Beatbox DJ banging on the table is the way we settle beef since the days of Cain and Abel. Ask Pop Master Fable, the jams at DMC, with DJs battle for world supremacy. The cipher's not always round, but always on the square. Breakers be on the ground, but I'm gonna put the weed in the air. The cipher's like the wheels of steel and scratch, it makes me itch. I get hyper with the lyrical skills when the DJ catch my pitch. When the fader's being switched, everything live in the mix, but still off the cut like I wear it on my wrist. What is a cipher? What is a cipher? Destroy.
The cipher, the cryptic writer, the mind igniter. I'm a rhymer designer, a line after line of rhymer. See, I'm an 80s rhymer, the crazy kind of you can't phase me rhymer. I write raw shit like I'm writing on baby diapers. I blaze these ciphers with basic shit. Savage, I'm on that kill for 8 type shit. Hit after hit, all classics, spit in the grit. You talk that hickory dick, you getting lickety split. This what you get, you ain't taking nothing from me. The goat that steps to KRS is the goat that's getting curried. Brain matter, I'm the original face slapper. It's been so many years, you must have forgot we used to chase rappers. Now I'm bust on these nappy-headed hoes, I must. You ain't bad boy, talk big, get your eye popped. That fake shit's not us, you know how Fresh Prince is. Career killer, I write death sentences.
Hey, 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 yo, what is a cipher? Hey, hey, yo, what is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher? Destroy. Time is of the essence, every breath another second. I'm down by martial law, fighting through the game like Tekken. I ain't be got no weapon when I camel walk like Johnny. Ringing bells when I rock the mic is poison like I'm Ronnie. Bob and weave through the dition, pull off in a new edition. Rapping is fundamental, whack MCs be steady riffing. I just stay in my lane when I'm on a scout like Kiffin. Look for volunteers when there's a drought, I'm in the kitchen. Cooking up some special treats, not talking trout when I'm fishing. I cruise through a hunt with heavy clout when I'm on a mission. I'm special with the verse, every line in education. While I wrestle with the verse, I rhyme in meditation. Standing on one leg, balanced on a lotus, but still packed an eye for judgmental niggas who ain't the SCOTUS. You can roll with this when you done past the lighter. Rhymes going counterclockwise around the cipher. What is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher? What is a cipher?
Hey, what's up, Yolanda? Peace. I'm glad you could join us. This is IZM TV. My name is Hakeem Green, of course, of the group Channel Live and Direct, BDP all day, every day. Can y'all hear me out there? I want to make sure my sound is correct. Can y'all hear me? Let me know in the comment. Make sure y'all can hear me. And I want to make sure I'm loud and clear because we got some, powerful conversation we need to have. So I want to make sure I'm right and exact. Let me know something. Please let your man know something in the comments. Saying no. Yeah. So I'm still waiting on Paradise Gray. Thank you. Sound good. Thank you. Yeah, we still waiting on Paradise. I talked to him on the phone right when I got on, and he was having somebody set him up. We're still waiting. So in the meantime, in between time, what I'll do is I'll throw up another joint, and we can share the stream. Everybody in the building that's out there, I'm gonna put up I Believe, Put It in the Air, featuring Carl Thomas, produced by DJ Heron. All joints mixed. Actually, this one wasn't mixed by Domingo, but the last one was mixed by Domingo. But yeah, so here we go. Let's put that up. I Believe, Put It in the Air. This is off the Mad IZM Who Want This Smoke album, which is available right now. Y'all can go check that out. gonna play this, and while we waiting, I think I'm gonna play this. What happened? Okay, we still spinning, still buffering. There we go. Boom. What up, JT? I see you. Thanks for checking in.
Or relax social distancing and other mitigation measures they've put in place. The president's been itching to begin easing the nationwide guidelines meant to stem the outbreak and contain the economic fallout. Well, the weekly jobless numbers are out, and they are a staggering show of the early impact of the new coronavirus on the economy. Around 3.3 million people filed for unemployment in the past week, far exceeding the previous record from 1982.
This goes out
that I will use my right or the right
all my
to be
smokers,
me.
my
I
dabbers,
believe that I'll choose
my
this fight
vapors.
for the right to be free.
Set up that
I believe I'll treat tonight like it's 420.
Madism in effect, hip-hop changed the game. Everybody smoke good, my grower changed the strain. I used to smoke for the thrill, now I do it for the pain. I stay pushing weight, I do it for the gains. It's like a revolution, Prince with purple rain. Purple kush, purple haze, like cheese in a maze. So I put lights in the tunnel, LEDs supply the rays. All we do is spark Madism, that shit is all the craze. Remember back in the days, trade bags of haze from the corner bodega. Poppy put it in some lays. It was rhymes in a cipher with blunts in the air. Then off with a shorty couch locked in a chair. My shorty look exotic, weed kinda rare. She said the weed was erotic with smoke in the hair. IZM makes the time go by, life without a care. So roll it up, light it up, put it in the air.
I believe in happy faces, yes, this is true. Love is just for special people, yes, just like you. If you're reaching for the stars, you know you can do anything you want to if you just get into the I believe that I will use my right or the right to be me. I believe that I'll choose this fight for the right to be free. I believe I'll treat tonight like it's 420.
Yo. I get Reddit and Redman when it's time to Johnny Blaze. I get pounds from Sugar Hill, I get dimes from Sugar Rays. I keep the aromatic, it's a passion, not a habit. Akeem go with green, it's like carrots go with rabbits. It's so automatic how the weed gets lit. Duplicate the seed, clones get clipped. Hawk, what you puffin' on? I know that ain't the piff. Wedding cake and gelato, wanna lit? I got flavors, pump flavors, they call me Flavor Flav. Gorilla Glue #4 and Super Haze. Afghani in the cough, sour diesel gets me off. I'm looking for a rental property, something like a loft, so I can grow these trees just in time for Christmas. Saint Nick with the gift list, I know you wanna hit this. Look for Madism when it's time to light a flare, then roll it up, light it up, put it in the air.
I believe in happy faces, yes, this is true. Love is just for special people, yes, just like you. If you're reaching for the stars, you know you can do anything you want to if you just get into the groove. I believe that I will use my right or the right to be me. I believe that I'll choose this fight for the right to be free. I believe I'll treat tonight like it's 420. Like it's 420.
Chill.
What really stands out to many are the one-time direct payments from the government. The Trump administration says they hope to start rolling them out in 3 weeks. The payments are based on your latest tax filing. Individuals who earn $75,000 or less will get $1,200.
Yeah. We back in effect. Hakeem Green, channel live and direct, BDP all day, every day. All we do is spark Madism here on Madism TV. This is part 2 with the in-depth 101 conversation with the phenomenal, the great, the OG Paradise Gray. Peace to the God, peace to the OG.
Hey, yo, peace. What's going on, my man? Hakeem in the house.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah, man, brother. Thank you so much, man. Because you came on last week and you just fed us. You fed us with some important information, some context that I know a lot of us are just short on, and you helped us fill in a lot of the gaps. And then, we got so far, and then you were like, yo, let's just do a part 2.
Yes,
And
sir.
to have you on for a second week, it's so dope for the Madison TV platform. It's so dope for hip hop, and I thank you, brother. I thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. If I look like I'm standing tall, it's only because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, my man.
Salute. Yes. Now we talked about some of those giants last week. Disco King Mario, PD Jones, right?
DJ Jones, yes.
DJ Jones. Y'all want to make sure I get everything right.
Yes, Grandmaster Flowers.
Grandmaster Flowers.
DJ Divine and the Infinity Machine and the Disco Twins and
Disco Twins. We talked about DJ Hollywood.
Yes, sir.
Oh man.
Grand Mixer DXT.
Grand Mixer DXT.
And also the we talked about DJ Smokey and the Smokatrons.
Yes.
And the Master Plan Bunch and all them guys.
And the Ghetto Brothers.
Yes, the Ghetto Brothers, Breakout and Baron, the L Brothers, Gene, whole lot of names that they missing from the discourse. Disco B. You know what I mean? Nobody never really, talks about Disco B and his legacy with Grandmaster Flash. You know what I mean? And it's just so many others, no disrespect to the great elders and legends who get their name mentioned on a regular, but, mad props to Coke La Rock, and other people who may not get the recognition that they deserve. Like the pioneers and legends that MC Shan mentioned at the beginning of the bridge, everybody remembers the disc that KRS-One did, but I think that we need to revisit the beginning of the bridge and research who those guys like Jappy Jap that MC Shan shouted out. All those people are real legitimate people who were there at the beginnings of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And because the KRS-One disc was so incredible, the South Bronx, that we overlook the names and the legacies of a lot of those cats that got shouted out on that record.
Yeah, I know that the bridge was a very important record for me, being a Jersey cat, and I really first heard it or caught onto it. I was in summer camp with a bunch of white kids who really didn't understand what I was listening to, like at all. And me not really knowing what Queensbridge was all about. Like, I'm from East Orange, New Jersey, which in 1986 is a long way off from Queensbridge. Same experiences but different. And to hear how he represented Queensbridge put my mind in a space and time where I wanted to be there. I wanted to see that.
Absolutely.
And so definitely with that. But then coming, like you said, with the South Bronx, you being so instrumental for really the launching of that whole movement, and seeing, we know the story about KRS and Scott La Rock pretty much getting dissed by Magic, and them trying to kind of get back at them, but you got like memorabilia and artifacts of them together. Like,
yes, sir.
So like, here's the picture, but what does the facial expression tell us?
Exactly.
Paradise. What does the facial expression tell us?
If you're referring to the infamous photo I took of the Latin Quarters of Scott La Rock, KRS-One, and MC Shan, you can tell that Scott and Chris were uncomfortable taking that photo. They had smirks on their faces. And if you look at MC Shan's face, he's cool like the other side of the pillow. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't really give a F. You know what I mean?
He still don't give a fuck.
At that time, Shan just like, yo, man, let's just get over with the night so I can get back to my big bag of Coke. Like all that other bullshit, y'all can have that, man.
Wow. Thank you for reminding me. You mentioned Coke LaRock earlier.
Yes.
And it's dope to see him on that K Slade 110 MCs joint. That's a beautiful thing. I love that. But the part that Coke played in hip hop culture, from people being named Ski to Blow to Freeze to Freeze. And then we look at the
Rock.
The Rock.
LaRock.
Wow.
Yeah, there's Scott LaRock. So that's a line of MCs and DJs in its own right also.
Wow.
And then there's a Nice line. Rich Nice, Greg Nice, D Nice. There's a whole bunch of nice cats. Nice. Pete Nice.
Wow. And those are all, like you say, cocaine slang, cocaine culture slang. Because, me coming from, I'm a former educator.
Used to sniff coke, used to get nice.
So it's like, I got this struggle with, gang culture, the underground culture and its influence and impact on hip hop culture.
And then you got religious cultures, the fifth element, the influences of the Zulu nation, the Nation of Islam, Islam itself, and also the 5% Nation of Islam, as it was known back in the day. Those were great influences. There's a lot of schools that were assimilated into hip hop. And hip hop didn't just sample music. We sample culture. You know what I mean? We sample concepts, fashion, everything in our life. We took the best of the best and we just threw the rest of the culture away and just took the little sample piece that we wanted.
Wow. That's dope.
Same thing we did to drug culture. Crack culture became hip hop culture. You know what I mean? The rappers weren't the ones with the big dookie gold chains and the Dapper Dan and the nice cars. And rappers was broke as hell. The drug dealers in New York were the ones that brought a lot of that fashion and a lot of that culture to hip hop. And the hip hop rappers jacked the street culture. You know what I mean? We jacked the drug dealers vibe and their look. Like the drug dealers was wearing the flat tops and the ballys, you know what I mean? And all the nice clothes and had the Jeeps and the fly girls. Wasn't no broke dudes rapping with the fly girls and all that stuff. We was fantasizing about having the shit that drug dealers had on a regular.
Yeah. That's crazy. But you look at that era, especially like 83, 84, 85, you see the fashion, 85, 86, you see the dookie rope chains, the bamboo earrings, the door knockers, MCM, Gucci, Louis Vuitton.
Yep.
Like, Paradise at the Latin Quarter.
Yep, the swagnificent Mr. Paradise.
Please explain. Like, how did you get the name Paradise, bro? I didn't ask you last
I got the name Paradise when I was younger from my mom. My mom used to always say that I was her little slice of paradise. You know what I mean? I was dark-skinned, ashy, and nappy. And I had holes in the bottom of my shoe. But my mother was my God. She was my everything.
Wow.
And she equipped me with a lot of small things that helped me overcome my shortcomings and the things that I didn't have. And she gave me the ultimate confidence in myself. And she told me to say what I mean and mean what I say. You know what I mean? And she prepared me and she let me off the porch at a young age. She didn't try to hold me back. She encouraged me to participate in hip hop, and she encouraged me to bring my hip hop friends home. And she fed everybody that came to the crib. And she really was a special person. My first crate of records came from my mom's living room.
There you go. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing because moms are also important. And when we talk about culture, really the Black woman is what creates our culture, from the fashion to the food for me anyway. Seeing my older cousins and my aunts and of course my own mother, watching them take nothing and turn the world from nothing, just to put the scraps together. It's a whole,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? So big shout
And
out
my
to the
mother
black.
was my program director. My mom prepared me for hip hop by feeding me James Brown, George Clinton, Sly and the Family Stone, the Ohio Players, Slick Rick, the Jacksons, the Motown sound, Stax Volt, all the incredible Motown women and Aretha Franklin and Gladys Knight and the Pips and all these things. My mom, I listened to my first Dolomite albums from my mom's living room. Richard Pryor from the
Richard
living room.
Pryor,
Hip
yeah.
hop. So hip hop came at us from all different angles. The Last Poets. I got all of those things from my original program director, my mother.
Yeah, that's real. Now, again, at Latin Quarter Paradise, who you are, image wise, what you represent, is such a street icon. But I don't really get to know you until you're the architect from X Clan.
Yes, sir.
And those two images are like juxtaposed, two different people.
Oh no, they're very much the same person. But
Please elaborate,
what
explain.
the Swagnificent Paradise was, it was the ashy, dark-skinned, nappy-headed kid on the corner of High Bridge finally having money and saying, I'm not going to be a bum no more. I'm not going to be the little guy with holes in the back of his pants. Now I'm going to buy all diamonds on every finger. Now I get my hair done every other week. Women are jealous of my hair. You know what I mean? I got gazelles on. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing suits. I'm wearing Louis Vuitton, because that image got me in all the clubs in New York for free.
Wow.
I showed up at the Palladium, Studio 54, Roseland, the Fun House with a Thriller jacket on and a white leather glove, and me and my boys get in free. So we're dancing. We're going to the club to dance. We're not using drugs. We're not drinking. We're young. We're too young to be in the clubs. But what we do is we b-boy and we pop and lock and we do the electric boogie and we imitate Michael Jackson. It's and we have fun.
Because you just went there. You just did something for me, right? Every conversation I have with folks who I consider hip hop, we start to talk about, well, what was you doing at and all breakdancing, pop locking, graffiti. It's all this other stuff that's not rapping.
Nah, we didn't, man. We didn't rap. We rapped as little as possible. Before hip hop, the live bands used to come out in the streets of the Bronx. And that's my foundation. That's where I learned how to be a sound man. That's where I learned how to hook the speakers up. I learned how to mic the drums. I learned how to get levels. I learned all of those things from my elder and mentor, Jimmy Morgan. And when Jimmy Morgan and his band Tough used to practice and go out and perform, I also had a second job, was to watch his young son, who used to run around and be inattentive. And his name is Tracy Morgan. Wow. And that's from my community in Highbridge. That's how we got down. Our elders in Highbridge, they didn't abuse us. You know what I mean? Our elders in Highbridge, they didn't molest us. Our elders, C.C. Howard, Pete DJ Jones, DJ Tony Rome, the Grand Imperial DJ JC, they was about empowering. They were great, powerful Black men who not only ran businesses, but they had good jobs. They were upstanding members of the community. So they taught us things that gave us a lane off the corner. And that all goes back once again to my mom knowing when to move and where to move. And she just always put me in the right place at the right time, and because of my elders and my teachers and mentors, I was there doing the right things.
Nice. Now, again, when I get introduced to you, you're the architect from X Clan.
Yes, sir.
Image wise, dreadlocks is very, African centric.
Uh-huh.
It's it's just
All right, let me tell you a story.
Right.
So I'm at Latin Quarters and I'm working there, and Lumumba, Professor X, the overseer, wasn't that yet. He was Lumumba Carson. And he is Sonny Carson, the great elder's son. He come to Latin Quarter one day because Heidi Smith from Rush Productions, Def Jam, had told him to go meet with me because he was trying to get some groups to perform at these events that these nonprofits were doing. They were stop the violence rallies and community service rallies to tell people to stop smoking crack and using drugs and stuff. And Heidi told him if he wanted to get some groups to perform for free, he should come and see me because Houdini, Run DMC, the Fat Boys, LL, they were making too much money and they was out on the road and they didn't really do free shows. So Professor X came to meet me, and one of the first things he did after he met me for a few weeks, he kept telling me like, yo, the energy of the young people, that this hip hop stuff that y'all are doing, it's amazing. Like, how do you get all these young people to come out and support? He was like, man, if I could get these young people energy and passion that they got for hip hop to be interested in my father's movement, man, we could really, really do something special in our community. So I started doing the research on what he was talking about, and I was feeling it. Stop the violence, getting people off of drugs, all that. I'm with all that. So he takes me to Brooklyn, to Fulton Street in Bed-Stuy, to the Slave Theater that Reverend Al Sharpton used to own. As a bit of reference, Sonny Carson was also Reverend Al Sharpton's mentor from the time when he was a young, burgeoning young preacher. And so Sonny had Al Sharpton under his wing for years. So over the years, they were still really good friends. So Sonny Carson and the December 12th movement and the Committee to Honor Black Heroes, they used to do events at the Slave Theater on Fulton Street. So Lumumba took me there to meet Sonny one day.
What year was this? Paradise.
This was like this was early 1986. And I go to meet Sonny and Lumumba. We walk in the place. For me, it was like walking through a time machine. I thought I was being pranked. It looked like a skit on Saturday Night Live. Well, I'm gonna get you sucker 2.0. Everybody had big ass silver afros and shit. They was wearing dashikis and shit.
Yeah.
And the little, remember them old African crowns?
Yeah.
And that was, and they was on stage talking about crackers and pigs. And I was like, and I'm kind of like under my breath, I'm kind of giggling. Not in reality, looking like I'm the one. I got a costume on myself.
Right.
I got these long ass Jerry curls and shit.
Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Louis Vuitton tam and shit, and a Louis Vuitton bag on my shoulder and shit.
Oh wow!
So
it's I'm gonna get you sucker scene right there.
Yeah. So Lumumba's like Sonny, and his father comes over. And he said, hey, what's going on? What's going on, brother? And then Lumumba said, peace, brother. This is my friend I've been telling you about. This is my man, Paradise. And Sonny Carson didn't say a word. He just immediately looked me up and down from the tip of my shoes to the top of my head, like, it didn't say nothing. And then when he finished examining me, he looks me in my eye and said, what kind of name is Paradise for, nigga?
Ooh.
I was like, well, actually, it's not a name. It's a goal. I said, every time somebody says the name Paradise, it invokes the goal that I have on earth as it is in heaven.
That's beautiful, brother. Oh, my God.
And he said, really? Oh. So you a smart nigga too, huh? He said, let me say something to you. He said, you see that door you came in? If I was you, I'd run out that door just as quick as I came in that motherfucker. Because if you stick around here, everything that you think you know, we're going to turn that shit upside down and we're going to fuck you up. And me being the inquisitive, intellectual, infomaniac that I am, I was like, nah, I think I'll stick around for a minute. And he just laughed, that deep Sonny Carson laugh. I miss his laugh more than I miss anything. That voice, that booming voice of Sonny Carson that remind you of Isaac Hayes meets Barry White. You know what I mean? Just amazing, amazing voice that he had. And the amazing thing about Sonny and the elders that I met there was that even after 6 months, Sonny never commented on the way I looked. He never commented on my hazel contact lenses or my curled hair or my diamonds or my fur coat, none of that. What he did was he just taught me who I was to the degree that I became so comfortable and in love with my Afro-Indigenous self that I was able to shed the costume that I had adapted. And the person that was inside me, unapologetically Black, was able to emerge. And I thank Sonny for that. Rather than criticizing me or shaming me, he educated me and gave me the opportunity to change myself. And I just want to thank him for letting me be myself again.
Man, I'm feeding back right now. Man, mute your mic, Paradise.
Say what?
I need you to mute it. There you go. Okay, no feedback. Nothing. Don't do anything.
Cool.
I got introduced to Sonny Carson when I was about 8 years old. I saw the education of Sonny Carson at Essex County College. My Aunt Diane took me to go see it. And it affected me in a big way. Like, it really put a stamp on me. And then something that it affects you, but you ate. So you move on with your life. You forget it, put it to the back of your mind. And then I got reintroduced to it in 1992. When I say I cried and cried and cried and cried, just and then to see the impact that he had on you, of course, knowing that Lumumba was his son and the Black Watch movement, I was so just anything protest, anything Black empowerment. I read the autobiography of Malcolm X in 1988, turned me upside down. I was all in. I was going to die.
That book also, I read that book prior to meeting Sonny Carson. So when I finally met him, it started to make more sense to me. Yeah. It's like, okay. And, the amazing thing about the Council of Elders that Sonny had prepared for us, to this day, I still am learning and remembering the things that they said to me. And it's just so profound. Just a lot of the lessons that the elders gave me at the time, they went over my head. I didn't understand. But with age, the knowledge and wisdom became understanding. And it's just amazing how much more I learn and understand. Like, every single day, it's like things you don't even remember where you heard it before. But when you hear facts and knowledge and stuff, certain things just connect with you. The first time you read it or see it, it's like, and no one even has to really let you know that that's a fact or that's the truth. You feel it in your DNA, you feel it in your bones, and you immediately connect with the word. So that's what they gave me a more than my lifetime of knowledge. And I hope that I can remember as much as I can, because my job is to pass it on. The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I have doesn't belong to me. It's a collective. It belongs to us as a community, as a people. And my job is to pass on what I learned. So people could accept it or reject it, They just have to respect it.
Mm-hmm. Now, Blackwards to the East was like a wake-up call, and like I said, I was deep into the studying Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Sertima, Cheikh Anta Diop, this all I was deep in, and then to have that album as kind of like a soundtrack, like to hear, like you see the logo. I have my logo for IZM is Heru. And it's like that's X Clan. That's like to listen to the album.
Heru was Professor X.
Yeah.
Brother J Thoth.
The
grand scribe of the gods. That's Brother J, the grand verbalizer.
Tahuti Thoth.
Yes.
Yeah.
And me, the architect of the gods, the architect of the universe, Ptah.
Ptah. Yeah, the father.
Yes, the grand architect.
Yeah.
And Sugar Shaft was so original and unique. We had to create deities to represent him because he's like ODB. There's no father to his style. He was a one-off, the rhythm provider.
Man, the rhythm provider, like that man, bro. And then to hear the knowledge being spit, and then you're reading about it, and you're seeing the connection in real time. And not only is he making it rhyme, it actually makes sense if you know what's being said. Like I was reading the Metal Netta at this time. Like that. Bro, I was.
Now you really want to get blown?
Hey, go on, let's go.
Brother Jay was 17 years old when he started writing To the East Blackwoods and finished it when he was 18. And to this day, I dare anyone to find a single album in any genre that's deeper than X Clan To the East Blackwoods.
The Brad Brother is, bro.
People talk about top 5 and all that, and for me, I'm forever biased that the grand verbalizer, Funkin' Lesson, Brother J, is that. He had the most difficult task in hip hop. He had a barrel that he had to come out of when it comes to knowledge. Even though the barrel he had was bigger than this universe, he still stayed on topic and made shit hot and funky over a career and never made a shake your ass song.
Nope.
Never made one song that wasn't on task and on point. I love you, Brother Jay. You always been a faithful warrior and soldier for the movement and spokesman for the knowledge of the ancient elders and ancestors. And I love you, Brother Jay.
Yes, sir. Now, being the soundtrack for the movement, I watched the movie A Cloud Over Brooklyn about Yusef Hawkins and how that went down. And as a reminder to what that era of time meant for me. Like we say, the slave theater, it just puts me back in a time when there was a soundtrack. There was a meaning for the music. There was a purpose for the music.
Yeah.
And
in fact, the song "A Day of Outrage" Operation.
That's what I was going to ask.
East Blackwoods.
Yeah.
The song that was like a newspaper chronicling the movement and the protests that we had at the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge for Yusef Hawkins. Yusef Hawkins was the catalyst that created the Black Watch movement. Similar to how Brother Floyd is that catalyst to the Black Lives Matter. But actually, Mike Jones, wasn't it Mike?
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown was
I would probably Trayvon.
Trayvon and Mike Brown.
And Mike Brown, Eric Garner. It's too many to name.
Exactly.
Just whatever.
And honestly, people forget it, but the one that really set off the movement, if you really want to know, was the Gina 6.
Yeah, in North Louisiana, excuse me.
Yes, the Gina 6.
Yeah,
that was the tip of the spear that lit the fire that later became known as the so-called Black Lives Matter movement, which is really not a Black Lives Matter movement. It's really a continuation of the same movement that began with the Civil Rights Movement, the same structure, the same movement that Marcus Garvey started, the same movement that Frederick Douglass and Martin Delany championed, the same movement of the Black Panthers and Move and SNCC. And we stand on the shoulders of all those elders to try to say that this is something new is really pathetic. And I really don't like how people are skipping over the 90s and the late 80s, you know, and the movement that we had in New York and talking directly about the Black Panthers and the civil rights movement, forgetting that we had a sustained movement that was worldwide led by hip hop in the 90s.
That's right. You know, people like you take Generation X. Nah, it's the hip hop generation, right? And when you look at what hip hop created as a cultural movement worldwide, globally, we literally kept America relevant all through the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, if people forget, people didn't want products from America until we put hip hop on it. So America finally embraced the commercial aspect of it because the world wanted real, authentic culture, and that only comes from indigenous people of color.
That's right. And the thing about it that people forget too, we had to fight, kick, and scratch for every damn inch of that too.
That's right.
Know?
That's right.
And, you know, we were disrespected by our elders. We were disrespected by people that were into this.
I got it. Oh, wait a minute. Got the robot going on. Dancing. Got the robot going.
The instrumentals and not play our lyrics.
Yeah.
Even Houdini.
You froze up for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault.
Yeah, I was saying how they were saying, you know, no rap with the tagline of radio station.
Shit, word.
You know,
yeah, shit pisses me off when you know they're comparing what artists today are doing versus what artists, you know, when I came up, you know, was doing. It's like when Run DMC was, there was no avenues.
Nope.
They didn't want to play rap music.
Nope. And that's why Run DMC did King of Rock. It showed them like, y'all can't compete with us. You watch, we're going to take over. And they did exactly that. You know?
It's crazy. It's
crazy. Yeah, it was bananas for a long time, you know. Hip hop was the bastard child of the world. You know, Timberland didn't want us wearing their boots.
Yeah.
You know, Gucci didn't want us wearing their brand.
No.
You know, none of the European brands that we were making popular respected us. Adidas didn't want us wearing their shoes. They didn't understand what it was until Run DMC did the My Adidas trick on them when Russell and Leo invited the German owners of Adidas to Madison Square Garden. And Run said from the stage, everybody in the crowd put one Adidas in the air. That's when Adidas understood what it was. He was like, what is this? My Adidas. And they rocked it. And then the dudes from Germany understood.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the power of our people, man. So this is what we do. Now, when was it, would you say, when you say hip hop has turned the page, like it's officially that thing? Who was it? What was it?
The night I cried. The night where I finally became somebody in my own eyes and in the eyes of the world. The Grammys. I think it was 1983 or 1984. Grand Mixer DXT and Herbie Hancock performed Rocket. And on the night that Michael Jackson won every damn Grammy he was nominated for, except that one. And that was the first hip hop Grammy. It was also the first time that a DJ and B-boys were on TV together.
Wow.
And after the performance, the whole entire fucking industry gave hip hop a standing ovation, including Michael Jackson, including James Brown, Barry White, Quincy Jones, Dionne Warwick, and Luther Vandross and Diana Ross. The camera panned the crowd, and the whole entire industry were on their feet, screaming and going crazy because Grand Mixer DXT and the B-boys that was with him just gave them something that they never fucking seen before. And I cried and I cried. And I finally saw myself on TV. I finally thought to myself, oh shit, I am somebody. I'm worth something. That standing ovation is for me. That's me on stage. I do those dances. I do those scratches and cuts. And now the whole world knows who I am and what I do and how important and how magnificent it is. And DXT is one of my favorite elders in hip hop. He has been for over 40 years. I love him. He's an outstanding man and gentleman, and he's highly intelligent and extremely talented. And a lot of people need to really go back in time and look at the career and life of Grand Mixer DXT and bow thy head.
Yo,
I'll make it easy for you.
Let me
Get the movie Scratch.
Yep. Madism TV, episode 1. Madism TV, episode 1.
Yeah.
Grand Mixer DXT.
Dope.
Episode 1.
You see? And here's the crazy thing about it, it's disturbing too, because Grand Mixer DXT had an organized rap group before the Funky Four. You know, and he lived in the Idawar projects in the Bronx. But what happened was he moved to Yonkers at an early age. So a lot of his accomplishments weren't in the Bronx. They were up in Yonkers. But that doesn't diminish not one bit of his skill and his talent level. And if you want to know the real deal about DJs back in the day, Grandmaster Flash, Grand with the Theodore, and DXT, all three of them are scratching in the movie Wild Style.
Yeah.
Listen to those scratches. DXT was so humble and so almighty, he didn't even want his face to appear in the movie. Just his hands and the sound that he made was on there. Yeah. And you listen to those comparisons of all the DJs on Wild Style and holler back and let me know what you think.
Don't start nothing now.
Ain't nothing to start. It's just been started.
It started, it finished.
Yeah, I'm trying to put exclamation points on it.
Documentation.
Exactly.
Documentation. Man, and definitely Wild Style is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Likewise.
And, yeah, it's incredible. Now, okay, so X Clan, again, the power of that movement, Black Watch, the roots from Sonny Carson on down, Lumumba, it's just the effect is cult like status.
Unfortunately, it became a little too cult-like.
Hey man, like that's what happens, when you're that great and you guys are that great, and I'm gonna give you all of flowers in the world. People are saying giving flowers is corny now because everybody's giving flowers, but
fuck that. I like flowers.
There you go.
I don't even want regular flowers. I want Grandmaster flowers.
Grandmaster flowers, and then
I'm alive.
Yo, can I share something with you?
Yes, sir.
Up in the Bronx, where the people are fresh, before Scotland Rock, before KRS, before the beef with Queens, before DMC and Run, Hollywood spitting bars, Club 371, Poontang was the method, but not like Wu-Tang. You had to catch it. Love Bug Starsky made me a believer because it stayed jam-packed at the disco fever. Fly girls on the set. Playboy, mind your manners. Funky 4+1 more at the Savoy Manor. Chilling on the rooftop or snap a Polaroid. What's behind the black door? Herc and the Herculoids. Can you feel it? Love Bug. Can you feel it? Uptown on the set. Harlem World Cultural and Entertainment Complex.
Yeah.
Now I'm underground, headed downtown with my crew. There's a party with DJ Flowers at the Brooklyn Zoo.
Yeah.
Anyway, goes on. It's a joint I got with DJ Sammy B called Take It Back, where I'm giving shouts out to all the old venue spots and of course the legends.
You get the Renaissance?
Huh?
You get the Rennie?
I didn't get the Rennie.
What about the Ecstasy Garage?
I didn't get the Paradise Garage. Paradise Garage. So wait a minute, it was an Ecstasy Garage before the Paradise Garage, is what you're saying?
Yes, the Ecstasy Garage was an actual garage in the Bronx.
Wow.
the Fantastic and Theodore and Mean Gene and them used to rock the shit out of that place.
Man, see, like some more of those old legends. You know, I'm a youngin' still, even though I'm in my 50s.
Oh, and the Autobahn.
The Autobahn.
And that crazy we used to hip hop party where Malcolm was murdered. And that's something.
Wasn't that that was Harlem World, right?
No.
Harlem World was different.
Yeah, Harlem World was Harlem World, and that the Autobahn was the Autobahn ballroom. It was the same place where Malcolm got murdered. You can go and see Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five because that was their spot.
Wow. So what is that about us? I mean, is it sacred? Is it not sacred? Is it?
What's the Autobahn?
Yeah, Malcolm got murdered there.
Man, ain't nothing sacred to niggas, man. I'm sorry to say that. There's no rules anymore. The streets used to have rules and laws and controls, and there was even honor among thieves once upon a time. But now it's every man for himself. So no order is respected. Too many old heads have molested and oppressed young boys and girls. And because of that, we've lost the respect and the confidence in and of our elders. And how you going to respect your elders when that's who buy your dope? You don't respect them, but give me my money, motherfucker, and kick them in the ass. Tell them get the fuck out of here. You making it hot over here, nigga. So, not only that, but it's easier to get an ounce of something and a pistol in our community than to get a job or find something good. And part of that reason was that old heads.
Man, froze again. Old heads. What up, hey, hold on, you froze again. You said old heads.
Yeah, old heads and OGs and all that bullshit. We failed our young people. We failed our children. And until we own up to that and be responsible for that, we'll never be able to repair the relationships with the young people that we need to repair, and we stay mad at young people for not knowing what we didn't teach them. And that's so fucking unfair. And anybody that got a problem with young people, I look at them and I say, well, who the fuck raised them or didn't raise them?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was having that discussion just the other day.
We have to own up to our own bullshit.
Yeah, whatever we don't like in our young people is because we failed them.
Yes, we did. And I like to, apologize, to all the young people out there who we didn't reach with the right message. We tried, but to try is to fail. It's no one's responsibility to keep you safe and to keep you alive but mine. I can't point fingers at anybody ultimately and be angry at them rather than myself and my brothers. And we got to do better. I don't give a fuck. Our children are dying in the street. Our women, they don't have a clue what to do about it. And it really isn't on them either. It's on us. What the hell we going to do? We going to man up or we going to lay it down and shut the fuck up? Leave the young people alone. They supposed to be better than us. And if they not better than us, then we failed.
So many jewels right there, bro. Like, it's real. It hurt my heart when I was having conversations on the internet, and the whole term Hotep has become a derogatory term.
Nah, Hotep ain't a derogatory term. Hotep niggas derogatory. And I don't blame the young people for speaking about what the fuck they see. Motherfuckers that do all that sweet talking, all that shit, but don't do shit in the hood. Motherfuckers that make a lot but do so little. Motherfuckers that we profess this and professor of that, but yet our children
doctor this, doctor that, doctor this, doctor that. All these doctors run around.
Yeah, physician, heal thyself. We sick. And even for old school MCs that complain about new MCs. Well, how many motherfuckers did you mentor? Who did you put under your wing? What's your seed? What's the seed to your roots? Since you so deep roots, you so deep rooted from the beginning, but there ain't no fruit on your tree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to be serious about this. You know what I mean? This is no joke. You know, we didn't teach even the culture of hip hop to young people. We got people from all over the world still b-boying and b-girling, still DJing, still doing all these amazing things except us. We got the Olympics getting ready to add b-boying.
We discussed that last episode.
I'm just saying we ain't in control of it though, right? And you got
because
it was money. We ain't doing that.
Money,
the battles, the rap battles. We ain't doing them.
You know, the day they announced that breaking was going to be in the Olympics, I did a room on Clubhouse. Right, ask Martha. She helped very helpful.
I know about it.
And it was, you know, now that the breakdance is in the Olympics, do we care? We in quotation marks, because I'm talking about black people. We not involved because we divorced ourselves from it. We walked away from it.
Yep. Everybody in the world is uplifting their children with our culture.
You can't be mad.
Except us.
Man, they did
weaponized against us. And not even hip hop, rap music with the rap industrial complex has weaponized our own music and culture against us.
Yeah.
Because once again, the elders and ancestors, the elders, we don't embrace the young. Hip hop is young people's music. You know, we did hip hop. We was 13, 14, 15. We could not go in Pete's Lounge or none of the clubs that the old guys had and B-boy. They had on the bottom of their flyers, B-boys stay home. You know?
Yeah.
They had slippery shoes on and silk shirts and stuff. We had to be across the street to hear the beats that we rapped on. So we changed hip hop. We changed it differently. And we made it ours. We made it young. And when we was 15, we didn't give a fuck what somebody's grandfather thought about our music. And now we got grandfathers like me complaining, bitching, and moaning about young people. I don't understand what they saying. Well, shit, if you don't understand what they saying, they ain't talking to you.
Right. So here's the thing though, because I know a lot of young rappers who make the type of music that's more pleasant to my ear.
And we don't support them. We won't even talk about them. We spend all our time talking about what we don't like and negativity about somebody else, instead of using that time to uplift these brilliant, intelligent, conscious young rappers that are out there. I love y'all. You're brilliant. Don't let nobody destroy your dream. You know what I mean? So whether somebody pass you a torch or nothing, light your own motherfucking fires.
Yeah,
y'all got a right to. Like we did.
And the beauty of today's world is that with all the tools that's available for these young rappers, they can really do it themselves and you're not looking to get quote unquote put on by nobody, because you can put yourself on. And if you don't, you don't. Now, you know, there's always been the commercial aspect. Like even when hip hop, quote unquote, was the purest, and it wasn't on the radio.
Nope.
What was on the radio was what was popular to the masses of people.
Yep.
And then what we was doing was like, this is what we doing. I don't even give a fuck what they doing.
Yep.
And I think that energy needs to exist even for my generation.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, I'm still making music and I like my music. Right, exactly. Right. And I'm making music for people if young people like it, that's great. Thank you.
I continue to support artists like Master Ace. I continue to support artists like Daddy-O and Stetsasonic. And y'all don't need nobody's fucking permission to rap or to do whatever the hell y'all want. I support y'all. And we need to, and we boycott every goddamn thing. We need to start boycotting.
Stop buying. Exactly. It's not, you know, boycott. First of all, I can't boycott shit I don't fuck with anyway. So if you fucking with certain shit that you got to boycott it, why was you fucking with it in the first place?
Yep.
Now we should start supporting that same energy.
Yep.
Let's go support the stuff that we say we like.
Yep. And the same energy that you use to hate, use that energy to love.
That's
Because
right.
hate plus hate equal more hate. But
Now,
who do you love?
are you for sure? Now, speaking of love, we got the Universal Hip Hop Museum.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your involvement in that and what that means for hip hop culture? Hip hop, nobody rapping.
I joined the effort with Rocky Buchanan and Curtis Blow and the early people who came up with the original concept for this version of the museum. I started working with them almost like 10 years ago when they were trying to organize to put a museum in the Bronx up by the what is it, the Armory, where KRS-One was and Scott LaRock was the counselor. And I've been involved in the effort from there. And it just took a long time for us to find a perfect match with someone that had brick and mortar. But I began my collection, the Paradise Collection, which is the foundation of the Universal Hip Hop Museum. I began collecting that like around 1977, 1978, when I started collecting flyers for Cool Herc parties and the parties that we were having in Highbridge with CC Howard and Pete DJ Jones. You know, I started out collecting baseball cards and comic books. And I wound up going to hip hop flyers because hip hop flyers had comic book art on them. And they had flamboyant names that reminded me of the Marvel universe. You know, Grandmaster Flash, Cool DJ Herc, you know, the Hercolords. You know what I mean? The Fantastic Romantic Five, the Cold Crush Four, you know, the L Brothers. All those names were like superheroes to me. And I started collecting flyers and whatever I could, the old school tape master tapes and listening to all the old jams on cassette. And I never stopped collecting hip hop. On to collecting magazines and posters and wristbands and lanyards and ticket stubs and newspaper articles, whatever. I was such a fiend for hip hop because not a lot of it existed back in those days, you know. So whatever I got my hands on, I held to it like it was treasure because of my background of collecting comic books and baseball cards. I understood the value of it to me as a collector, and it's amazing that I get to return the artifacts of hip hop that I collected over all these years in a collection that started less than 12 blocks from where the Universal Hip Hop Museum is where I started collecting as a small boy. And for me to be able to go around the world 9 times and return the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and the receipts of hip hop, you know, the artifacts, to be able to bring that back to the community where it first started at is just unprecedented in my mind. And it's the total 360 and it's karma coming back home with it, baby.
It's the cipher. It's the cipher.
Yes, sir.
Now you have a partner. It's a little weird combination considering the history in terms of groups. And that term out X-Clan and Third Base, there was some, you know, jabs, there was some mentions, what have you. And then your history with this brother goes even further back. So can you elaborate on your relationship with Mr. Pete Nice?
Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister.
Yeah, man. Well, I first met Pete, I think he was 17 years old in high school. He was a lanky, tall basketball player from Boys and Girls High who was in a rap group named Sin Qua Non.
He was a tall, lanky basketball player.
Yeah, Pete Nice was nice with the basketball. He's been immersed in black culture all his life. Pete Nice's father is a legendary New York City basketball coach who he coached at a bunch of big schools. You know, he coached Walter Berry and a bunch of those boys from St. John's and all of those. And his son Pete was on a lot of those teams, you know. He wasn't no outright white chocolate Super Bowler or nothing.
Yeah, but he
was good enough to be on the teams, you know.
Okay.
And Professor X was his manager. And check it though. I mean, if there was no X Clan or there was no Lumumba Carson in Paradise Gray, there would have been no third base.
Wow.
You know, because Lumumba, who wound up being Professor X, was managing Pete and brought him to Latin Quarters. And MC Search was with Paradise Gray at Latin Quarters. You know, and they wound up hanging with Patrick Moxie, you know, the white boys of the world unite. And Patrick Moxie introduced two of them. And after the Latin Quarter closed, they wound up being third base. And we wound up being X Clan.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy, crazy. But now, you know, now it's a different atmosphere.
A different era.
A different era, different atmosphere, different relationship.
Yes.
And
because Pete Nice had a similar upbringing that I had, he also collected baseball cards and comic books. And after he started his career with third base, he did exactly what I did. He saved all the artifacts from his career first. And like the first photos I used to take pictures in the studios that I was going to or the clubs I was going to, because I would go home to the hood and I'd be telling all these great stories about what I did last night and nobody would believe me. Wow. And I'd be like, no word, I was in the studio last night with James Brown in full force. And they was doing this song called Static. And if people be looking at me like, you was in the studio with James Brown. I'm like, yeah, right. And I pull out my chain. Look, who is this? That's James Brown. And who's next to him? Is that me? Oh my God, I must be telling the truth. So that was the ultimate fact check. You know, with niggas that used to hate on me in the hood, they didn't believe my stories. I started bringing the receipts out.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
What happened with me and Pete? How we linked up now? Like 4.5 years ago, my mother died, and I was so distraught. You know, I've been telling you about the relationship with me and my mom, how she's my God. You know what I mean? And the only person in hip hop that reached out and came to my crib was Pete Nice. And he showed up at my door with 4 portfolios full of his hip hop memorabilia. And we went through his and then we went through mine and we told stories and we laughed. And then we traded about $12,000 worth of memorabilia with each other. And then on his way out the door, he stayed with me for about 2 days. On his way out the door, he was like, yo, Dice, you know, I know your mom just passed and everything. He just dropped $4,000 in cash on me. Like, here you go, bro.
Damn.
You know, and it really touched my heart. And at the time I was, you know, working on a hip hop museum. And after seeing Pete's collection, I realized that, you know, maybe I should work closer with him. And I asked him if he was interested in coming in with me and being a co-curator. And he said, yo, Dice, whatever you need, I got you. And his word is bond. And over those 4 years, I went blind. And he stayed right by my side in constant communication with me every single day. And because of him, I'm the world's first chief curator that's blind. And I can still do my job because he's my eyes. He has become my eyes and my best friend in the age of Trump. X-Clan and third base are best friends and building a hip hop museum in the Bronx. How about that?
That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. Talking about 360.
You know
what I mean? You know, the roots of this culture go so deep, way deeper than just rap. It really is, you know, how we interact with one another, you know, more so than doing a thing. Is how we do things.
The only thing that we don't have now that we had during the golden era is each other.
Jewelry.
Because we are the value. We're the money.
That's right.
Our blood is the oil of the industry, of every industry.
Everything. That's right. The number one resource is human resource.
Right. But our only problem is that we can never profit off of our own labor or each other. We won't tolerate each other long enough to work hard enough with each other to show our true value. And that's what I love about the Universal Hip Hop Museum, is that Rocky has given us the opportunity to put together a team of some of the most incredibly talented hip hop archivists and curators on earth. And I love my partners, Senyon Kelly and Martha Diaz, and my boy Pop Master Fable, Mark Green, Joe Gonzo, Bill Adler, Sal Abatella, Michael Holman, all these guys, that came together and put their sweat equity into this, because there's been no money for us to do what we're doing. The money is just starting to percolate now, but we had to put in 10 years of blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point. So I salute everybody who have put in even 1 minute or one artifact into the Universal Hip Hop Museum. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I praise you. And understand too, we just did the groundbreaking. We didn't do no ribbon cutting. We still have to build the buildings. We still have to fill those buildings up. And we still have to have the electricity come on when we hit the damn light switch. So we still need donations. We still need hip hop to get 5 on it. Whether you got 5 cents, $5, $5 million, or $50 million, $5 billion, we need you. Somebody.
And how can people give?
Go to uhhm.org and follow the links to the donation pages. And yes, we need hip hop memorabilia, especially high-end items, the things that we call hip hop holy grails, things like that crown that they just sold on Sotheby's for Biggie. We need stuff like Slick Rick's chair. You know what I mean? We still need a whole bunch of things, because we're going to tell the whole entire hip hop story from the beginning to the end. We're going to talk about Cardi B and A Boogie and My Son, as well as Fat Joe LL Nas, as well as Grandmaster Flash, Grandmaster Melly Mel, Grandmaster Cass, Kool Moe Dee, Hollywood. All is welcome. So if you're from a group and you're not being mentioned, holler at us. We want to hear your stories. We can't tell your stories if you don't tell your stories to us. Don't make assumptions that we know who you are or what you've done, nor make assumptions that we've somehow collected items from your past. If you don't have it, how the hell you think we got it? Help us get it. Dig in the crates. Help us meet your homeboys that saved your shit. Tell us your legacy. Do interviews with us. We want to know.
And you can get at these people at uhhm.org.
Word. Even if you ain't from New York, we don't care. We're the Universal Hip Hop Museum.
Not New York Hip Hop Museum.
That's right.
Universal.
We want every story, because there's a cool Coke LaRock in every city, in every town.
That's right.
Holler at your boy. Let us know.
That's right.
And better than just hollering at us and telling us your verbal history, pull out the receipts. Let us see give us the flyers. Donate them to us. Let us know what's available out there. We can't show what we ain't got.
That's right.
And we can't tell what we don't know.
Now the groundbreaking, which was groundbreaking.
Yeah,
it was groundbreaking. Did you mention some of the people that showed up to the groundbreaking, which was phenomenal to see? So great.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell some of the people that were there? Like who showed up?
Of course, what you saw in the media, you saw LL Cool J, Fat Joe, Grandmaster Flash, Nas, Slick Rick, Easy AD from the Cold Crush was there. Scorpio from the Furious 5 was there. Milk from the Audio 2 was there.
Wow.
Vinny from
Naughty by Nature.
From Naughty by Nature was there. Grand Groove Catch the Beat was in the house.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Sha Rock was there. You know what I'm saying? And Debbie D was there. Lisa Lee was there. The infamous Twins were there. You know, a lot of the original b-boys and graffiti writers were there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just amazing. You know, PMD from EPMD was there. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Rod Digger showed up at the spot. You know, just so many pioneers and legends. I'm not going to be able to remember everybody. We did a tribute to the last poets the day before. And it was just phenomenal. Just so many people, you know, Grand Mixer DXT, he came to see it for the first time, you know, and he just collapsed in my arms and cried on my shoulder and paid me back for the night he made me cry.
Right.
And he just expressed that Paradise, you're right, what y'all doing here, this is absolutely necessary and it's important. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we weren't able to invite everybody in hip hop. Unfortunately, that's unrealistic. But even if you didn't get an invite or you wasn't in the house, don't mean that it's not your museum and that you're not considered. You know, you can participate as much as you want to participate. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna be writing cats checks. You know, this ain't a free ride for us or anybody else. It's about hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears. And we still got a lot of that shit to put in. So if you want to come and put in the work, holla at us.
Yeah. I just shot 2 music videos, the Cypher and took a test. And took a test, reached out to my OG right here, Paradise. Said, yo, I need to get up at the pop-up, get some footage. And he made that happen. Big shout out to Pop Master Fable. Big shout out to Rocky. Big shout out to Muhammad Islam.
Yeah.
Went uptown. You know what I'm saying? And it was a beautiful thing. It really is.
And like I tell all the legends and pioneers, this is a museum, a newseum. This is not a mausoleum where hip hop.
Nah, it's live. It's live. I'm telling
live.
you,
it's channel live.
It's channel live. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's live. It's not. It's you walk in there. It's like it's vibrant. You see the images from back in the day. You see the life-size images of Busy B, life-size images of Kumo D. Like I got on, if you check my Instagram, I got pictures standing like, you know what I mean? You'll see it in the video too. I'm telling you, you got the fever. You gonna go to the fever. Man, they got the subway train. You can go sit in the subway car with the graffiti all over it, make you feel like you in 1982 out this mug. I'm telling you. It's hot. I'm telling you.
And that's open right now.
Sure,
that's
right now.
Hip Hop 2.0, right 1980 to 1985. It'll be up until December, January.
Man, go see it. I'm telling you, don't front on yourself. Do not front on yourself. But you'll see glimpses of it in the video. Not too much, because you gotta go and check it out for yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's right. Yo, Paradise, bro. This conversation, again, part 2 is, man, just as dope as part 1, bro. A lot of jewels.
Yes, sir.
A lot of context, a lot of perspective. I got one more question for you.
Sure.
Just, you know, I'm an artivist. You know, I like to use my music to add to society, to add to my community in particular.
And you do it well.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, there's another brother who does it very well, and I know you've done some work with this brother out in Pittsburgh, right? Jasiri X. Can you talk about that brother and how important he is to hip hop culture?
Yeah. When I first met Jasiri, he was one of the youngest ministers in the Nation of Islam here in Pittsburgh. And I rode with him to the Millions More movement, and we had a lot of conversations. And we had got together at my crib with a bunch of other people after Katrina. And we had started an organization called Hip Hop for Survival. But in the wake, after Katrina settled down, you know how people do. They get forgetful and it's not important anymore, and people went about their ways. After that, we went to the hip hop political convention in New Jersey and in Chicago. And then we went to a event called The Gathering with Elder Harry Belafonte.
It's just like 100 rounds, man.
Where? And we got back, man. They just bust 100 rounds down the block from my crib right now.
What?
The motherfuckers is losing, man.
Yeah, they're losing that.
Tripping, man.
But anyway, to get back to where we're at right now, so we went to the gathering with Harry Belafonte, and we decided that we were charged by Elder Harry Belafonte and them to use hip hop to make an effect in our community, similar to like what I did with X-Clan and the Black Watch movement. So 6 of us got back to Pittsburgh and we formed an organization called One Hood. And we decided to use hip hop in very much the same way that the Black Watch movement did it. But instead of doing one movement, we would do a coalition of movements, bringing all the stakeholders in the community together to pull in one direction. And it was very successful. And during that process, you know, Jasiri told me, you know, I used to rap.
Uh-oh. Frozini. Robot.
Said,
Uh-oh. Paradise, you froze. Hold on 1 second. You frozen up.
okay.
Oh, there you go.
So,
okay.
Jasiri was basically saying that he used to rap. And I said, what do you mean you used to rap? He said, well, nobody wants to hear what I have to say anymore because I don't spit like I used to spit. I spit conscious now.
That's right.
And I put a beat on in my studio and I told him to spit. And he did. And I thought he was pretty amazing. Yeah. So I started recording him. And I got a whole shitload of beats from one of my homeboys here in Pittsburgh named Black Seas. Black Seas was the first Pittsburgh rapper to get signed to a major label. And he did an album back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And it was produced by Battle Cat on the West Coast. But Seas is a monster producer. Nice. He did the beat for I'll Do Anything for Jay-Z. And he gave me just basically I built a studio on my crib in Pittsburgh and Seas moved in with me. And we just started slinging beats left and right every day. Wiz Khalifa would be at the crib buying beats. You know, Mac Miller and them would come through. And, you know, so Jasiri just started recording and his big break came when the Gina 6 came out and he wrote the song Free to Gina 6. And we put it on the internet with the help of our boy NY Oil, who at the time was hot with Y'all Should All Get Lit.
That's my shit right there.
So that was the launch pad. We launched that then. And we just kept going and we started a hip hop news program during the Obama run for president called This Week with Jasiri X, where every weekend we would collect the news of everything that happened that week. And then Jasiri would write a rhyme from Friday to Saturday, memorize it. We would go to the studio and record the song by Sunday, record the video, and by Monday morning we would have the video on the internet fully edited and ready to go. And we did that for like 18, 19 weeks consecutively until Obama won.
Crazy.
Yeah. So Jasiri is an amazing dude. We started collaborating with Brother Jay from X-Clan, Chuck D from Public Enemy. You know what I mean? We started going to the Zulu anniversaries. We played SOBs, the X-Clan 25th anniversary. And you know, Jasiri just kept getting better and better by the week. And it was really a pleasure traveling around the country with him, doing the artivism that we did.
That's my
we
guy
visited
right there.
Border in Arizona.
Yeah, that's my
and
son.
Alabama. You know what I mean? We went on tour with Soundstrike, with Immortal Technique and Chino XL. You know what I'm saying?
My brothers.
So, and we went out there and we rocked at Occupy Wall Street with Rebel Diaz. We was on the front lines there.
That's
you know, so I'm really proud of Jasiri. You know, he kept it going as my health and my vision started deteriorating. That didn't slow him down one bit. He stayed on the front lines. He even went out there with the Mike Brown situation. Sure. We made the Trayvon song.
Trayvon,
yeah, that was big. Working with Sabrina Fulton for the, you know, we've supported every major motion and movement, you know, since like 2003. You know, we've been at it, and I got nothing but love and respect for my brother Jashiri. You
No
can visit
doubt.
hood.org to see what the movement is doing here now. One Hood is still growing, still thriving, still mentoring young artists. And recently, One Hood created the One Hood Power, a political arm of the organization. And we ran a platform here in Pittsburgh this last election. It was our first election. We ran 13 candidates for 13 seats and won 8 out of 13.
Nice.
Including, rather than begging for justice, we replaced 5 old white judges with black women judges.
See, that's the power right there. And I want people to understand this is ours. It like this whole the way government, we created this. We really
created
did.
democracy.
We created democracy.
White man don't even know what democracy is.
Yeah, the whole idea
off of
separation of powers.
But he don't come from democracy. He come from kings and queens and serfs. Peasants.
Yeah. So people power, organizing, getting to the election booths, voting people in, identifying people who represent your core values. And if they're not there, you create them yourself.
And supporting it with money.
More really, because that's the
definition of power is the ability to move people and money.
Yeah, car won't drive with no gas.
So if you can't move people and you can't move money, you ain't got no movement, and that shit ain't even meant to move.
Bars. You know what I mean?
And if you ain't got no young people, then you ain't got no movement.
That's real.
Movement that's worth its salt in the history of the world has succeeded without young people.
Every revolution is driven by young people. Don't get it twisted.
That's so all your old heads that's trying to still be the Baba BB, still trying to sit on the throne, collect all the money, have sex with all these young people on the D-low. That shit is dead and over. And I tell young people, only weak people need strong leaders. Learn how to lead your own life.
That's right.
The movement starts and ends in your living
family.
A community is a collection of healthy families. If there is no healthy families, it's impossible to have a healthy community.
Yeah, that's real.
Period.
Point blank.
And if we just going to be individuals and sit in our houses and hoard our food and hoard our supplies and our resources and don't share and don't feed the people and don't create stone soup, and with everything that we do, we're going to be losers. Because somebody going to be able to go door to door and kick them damn weak ass doors in and take what you got as individuals. But united we stand, divided we
fucking fall, for real. Well, look, brother, I want to say thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. My pleasure.
Bruh. And once again, like I shot a video a couple weeks ago, took a test, and the brother opened up the doors and allowed me to go into the museum and get pieces of it, for the video, because
that's great, man. That's what it's all about, Hakeem. Hip hop is not about what we put on the walls. We are hip hop. You are hip hop. I cannot say I respect hip hop and disrespect you. That's on Cypher, sir.
Now the song is "Took a Test."
Yes, sir.
Took a test, and it's a throwback. It's over the Fantasy 3 beat.
Become an MC. If you're a real MC, you know those words. Those words are legendary, classic.
Exactly, man. Yeah. So everything's 360, and that's the cipher.
Yes, sir.
Paradise, thank you so much for sitting down with Madism TV, sir. Universal Hip Hop Museum. Love you too, sir. Love you, bro.
And all your young people out there, if nobody haven't said it to you today or recently, I love you.
I love you.
I love you. And
powerful words.
I am your father, and I'm not Darth Vader. I am your uncle. I am your legendary pioneer. I am your legend. I am you. And without you, there is no me. And we really, really need young people to really pay attention to what we're doing with the Universal Hip Hop Museum, because I need teachers too, not just students. I need y'all to teach me about hip hop today and tomorrow, because I don't know everything, especially not the stuff that's going on recently. So I'm gonna be looking for young curators to learn what we're doing and to be my mentor and to be our teachers. Where y'all at? Holler at us. Let us know what you think about hip hop, not just in the past, but how we proceed to the future, how we create bridges between generations, religions, so-called races. We need to create bridges of commonality, and hip hop is the only culture out there that can do it. No religion can do this. No politics can do this. Only hip hop, music, and culture can save this world. And we have to be the community that we want to see. Who's first?
Thank you so much, sir. Yo, this is Hakeem Green, Channel Live and Direct, BDP all day, every day. All we do is spark Madism on Madism TV. Yeah, we out of here. Salute Paradise.
Watching it, tomorrow, y'all might be watching the Drink Champs, but we're the Think Champs.
The Think Champ. Ooh.
That's that Brand Master Paradise Gray again. The Brand Master.
All right, we out of here, y'all. Peace.